¿Nos podrías contar acerca de las nuevas familias de Jensen Speakers?
One of the reasons why we started developing our new and original designs was to offer a different voice, a more modern, more contemporary, higher power, higher dynamics. And, many of them are very different one from the other. Many of them retains a little bit of the original Jensen tone, but they are designed to sound good in a wider range of applications. So in the jet range, there are many different families, and each one has a specific voicing. The Falcon family, where there is an 8, 10, and a 12. The Falcon is a good all-around, versatile kind of speaker. Not too dark, not too bright, pretty balanced, very affordable. Then we have other speakers that are very specific. The Nighthawk and the Electric Lightning are two different speakers, very oriented for modern pop, like crystal cleans and very high gain over driven tones. So let's say the Nighthawk is really like an 80s heavy metal tone. Let's say thrash metal or slash, very aggressive kind of tone. Another interesting design is the Raptor. The Raptor is the boutique tone of the American sound in the 80s. Larry Carlton, you think Robin Ford, you think Steely Dan, the golden era of the session players in Los Angeles. It's voiced in that direction. So very smooth, very fat, very warm, very versatile. Then we have the Blackbird series, which is our flagship series. Those are the most refined, expensive, most beautifully voiced speakers. The Blackbird 40, we started from the P12Q and we said, okay, the P12Q is one of the best sounding vintage speakers that we have. What can we do to make it louder, more sensitive, more strong in the bass, not only more bass, but, a firmer bass? Not so flubby, not so soft. We decided, we invented a technology that we call reinforced alnico that increases by 30% the strength of the magnet. So with the same magnet, we have a lot more strength. And that became the Blackbird 40. The Blackbird 100 is okay, what can we do to make the best speaker possible, period? No question asked. Money is not important. It's just gotta be the best. So we used the biggest alnico magnet we can find, a very large voice coil, 2 inches voice coil, a very special membrane that is custom made for us, and the Blackbird 100, either in the 10, 12, and 15 sizes, probably the best overall sounding speaker and most versatile that I have ever played. From clean, jazz, country, classic pop, and rock, a Blackbird 100 is probably the best speaker you could put into your amp. And then probably the most interesting family is the Tornado family. The Tornado family is our take on the neodymium speakers because weight is becoming a factor. Using neodymium speakers helps even a tube amp to become more portable. Problem is, the first neodymium guitar speakers, simply they didn't sound good enough because the change in magnet material actually changes the sound. So, we scratched our head, experimented a lot. And then we discovered that neodymium sounds a little bit more like alnico than ceramic. So we started saying, okay, let's voice our neodymium speaker as if they were alnico. And that created the right tone. So we have 4 models in the Tornado range. We have the 65 that is voiced vintage classic British rock tone. We have the 80, which is voiced like the 80s, super clean tones, super aggressive overdrive tones, thrash or heavy. We have the Tornado 100, which is probably the most balanced. I used to say that the Tornado 100 is 70% American voiced and 30% British voiced. And then we have the Tornado Special Edition, which is the newest, the latest. It is born from the Tornado 100 with some modifications, great for cleans, very warm, very balanced, but if you put like high gain overdrive, even detuned or baritone guitars, it can take any amount of gain without ever becoming harsh to your ears. So that's one of the examples of one of our newer developments.
Hoy en día el guitarrista moderno busca tocar con pedaleras directo a los PAs. ¿Qué tipo de relación tienen con este tipo de tecnología?
We partnered with two companies. One is Two Notes, and the other company is Overloud. They are different because with Overloud, we wanted to do the Wikipedia of Jensen. So we took every speaker, let's say a P10R. So the speaker was originally used in 3 different cabinets: 1x10 open back, 2x10 open back, 4x10 open back, the basement. So we built vintage correct cabinets and put a 1x10, 2x10, 4x10 and measured the impulse response with 18 different microphones, each in 16 different positions. So we recorded, and we did this for the entire range, but is based on the speaker. If you go into the Overloud website and you buy a library, you buy the library of the P10R and you will find all the different cabinets that we recorded with the P10R inside. Two Notes made a different approach, and this is good. This is the reason why we agreed of having both. Two Notes is cabinet oriented. So they asked us, okay, which are the, let's say, 20 most important cabinets in the Jensen history? We recorded the impulse response based on the cabinet and not really on the speaker. So they sell the cabinet. So, you know, it can attract 2 different customers.
Hasta acá llegamos con la entrevista a Ignazio Vagnone de Jensen Speaker. Si les gustó, por favor comenten y suscríbanse para que sigamos haciendo mucho más contenido acá en Compás 1.